Hey everyone, this is Jechta. Please welcome. I'm going to do a little bit like a new tutorial about how to make a security webcam inside Dreams, or how to do that, what kind of techniques you can use inside Dreams, of course. And I will show you first how it looks, and then we're going to recreate it in a new scene, and I will show you step by step how I did it. I'm not doing really like doing like much of like tutorials, because like there are like tons of other people that already like put a lot of like basic tutorials on Dreams. So what I just do with my tutorials is just that everything that I'm sometimes make inside Dreams, I um, just want to share it, like how I did it, so you can make yourself something. And I think that's a really cool way to do it. If you don't think so, then you don't have to watch this video, of course. But if you're really curious how I did some stuff in Dreams, because like I know that some people like really asking sometimes, like, hey, like they only see like the finished products on my Twitter channel sometimes, if they miss my streams, my live streams. And they're always like wondering, how did you do that? And or maybe they're just like, yeah, we always like seeing the end product of your creation, we never seeing anything like how you did it. And so what I really want to do is just to show you guys the whole process, at least like a few steps of how I did certain things. Alright, so as you know, in the previous videos, from my first two ever made tutorials that I did before, I was showing a little bit of like the room, right? So the gaming room that I made. And this gaming room is just completely made inside Dreams. What that means, everything you see behind this little snail character is real time. So I can put on the light. There we have it. Now we have like the PlayStation logos lit up. Still a little bit dark, right? We can put on the glass cabinet light on. Still not enough. Maybe put on the tall light over there. It's still a little bit dark, so we should of course do the ceiling lights. There we go. So now we have like a lit up room behind our back. So as you can see, this is all real time. I already showed. I think I'm not sure if I already showed this before in the first two videos, but I really want to show that everything was just like real time. But we can also change. I have like one feature, which is not really like like it's not like it's a polished version yet. So, but also can like add up like sunlight. But as you can see, the sunlight is like popping up instantly. White is not doing anything. It's just like poof. It's just there. I really want to like tweak this. I'm probably going to do this in the live streams. But yeah, I'm not sure if that live stream will be after this video or before. So that's like a little bit of information that doesn't really matter. But I also made something else inside this room, and that is the security webcam. The security webcam is just like, alright, not really a webcam, but like a security camera, which is just going scan the room from left to right. So there's actually like an animation going on, and something may be happening in the room itself. So let's activate the security camera, and you can see for yourself. So we're going to press, or I'm going to press a button so to activate that security camera. So I'm going to activate it, and as you can see, and also here, that the camera, when the camera moves, um, you're actually seeing like and hearing the camera movement from left to right. And you also see there is a timer going on in the right side, and you can see the recording in the left side, and in the bottom you see Be Right Back Camera 1 and date, but you can't see the date because like I'm sitting in front of it. So maybe we should um, put this away so you can see what I'm talking about. So here, like the reason why I don't have like an actually date inside here, like working date, is because like it will be so much work every time when I'm streaming, and I have to put the right date on it. So that's a little bit like too much, um, like information or to resources to put in there. But the timer is working, as you can see, and the timer now is basically based on every 30 minutes. It will pass a daytime or a nighttime. And so it actually is working. I have to say that the timer is not completely made by me. I did transfer it into my webcam screen. I will always like if there is something in my scenery that I haven't made myself, I will always put a link in under the description under this video in the YouTube channel, where you can see or if you want to also use something like this, I will put there in the description under the video. Okay, that being said, how did I do this? Well, it's basically very simple. It's a really simple way to make something like this, and there are like tons of different ways to do it properly or correctly. So I think you have now like a kind of good feel what I meant with a security webcam camera. So let's start making a new one. So I'm going to go out of the scene, and there we go. And then we're going to create and start fresh from the new scene. Okay, I'm going to delete this. I don't know why I'm always deleting the standard ground in Dreams, simply because I don't want it, I don't need it. Okay, so before I'm going to put in the camera, let me first make a little bit of scenery so we can actually see what we are doing. And for that, I'm just going for my own creations. We don't need Sharky. We can maybe use a tree that I made. Bloop. That's uh, one of the trees. And we can also put some ground in there as well. Normally I put stuff on grid, but to be honest, I don't really need to do it. Um, it's just for like um, tutorial matter anyway. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make like a little bit of a forest, or at least not like any forest, but maybe a very spooky one. Also, this video is probably going to come out um, before Halloween, so I thought maybe we can put some stuff in there that is a little bit like spooky. And as you can see, like you can basically like build your own environment very quickly. This particular asset that I'm now putting on, is not live yet, and the reason is basically because I'm still tweaking this floor, the ground. I'm still tweaking the ground asset for my also for myself, but eventually also for you guys. So once I'm really happy with it, I will release it on the Dreamweaver. So have a little bit of patience if you really want to know, or if you really want to use this. Have a little bit patience on that one, because it's not really what I like so far yet. It's not really my to my likings. So okay, we have a little bit of scenery. I'm not going to build a completely full scenery just like maybe quickly. Maybe we can use some snow in the background. Um, there we go. It's a little bit based on maybe what is it called? I don't know. Like the colors are a bit like maybe New Zealand or yeah, well, places where you can use snow and like dirty grounds. Okay, so we have a little bit of the scenery. It's not the best scenery, but it is a scenery. So how to make a security webcam? So let's say that there is like a security webcam maybe around here that is like it's focusing on the forest a little bit from like the upper, like let's say here. The thing is that when you have like something in your scenery, when you have like something in your scene, always think the positions of stuff where you want to put it, right? So let we can just like pretend where my camera is at the moment that that is the point maybe where it's a house or maybe a lamppost or something where like a security camera can attach to, and always think of a certain point in your, if it's going to be in game, make sure it makes sense, to have like a security camera in it. So always check on that. And also check if it have certain views in your scenery. So if you want to make like a very spooky scenery, make sure you're not like yeah, make something visible, or maybe do make something visible still a little bit in the background to make it more creepy. I will do another tutorial about how to make lightning effects and how to set up a mood in a certain situation. But that will be in another video. Now this is only just camera. Okay, so we're going enough talking because I don't want to make it too long of a video. So before we're going to start, always go to your gadget mode. So we're going to our gadgets and we are selecting, if this is open, just hold L1 and circle. So it will all close your open stuff. And then we can just like scroll a little bit by holding R2. And then there is like cameras and lighting. So we're going to go in here and then we see like camera, and simply just place it in the scene. Then we're going to like use this camera, and I always do this like this instead of like placing the camera manually and then trying to find the right spot. It's always very hard to do that. So what you need to do is scope in into, or basically just like possess the camera by holding L1 and X. So you will like straight going inside the point from you're going straight inside the camera itself. So now we can just like control it, and I can place it wherever I want. So if I think like, hey, this is a really cool spot for the camera, and we have to be a little bit careful because like I really want to have my camera goes like around a little bit. So let's say we put it like here, so it's not like it's hitting any hitboxes or anything is in the way. This seems perfect. Okay, so now I know that this is a really good spot for me. I will scope out again with L1 and circle. So now we are outside exiting the camera editor. And there we have it. There we have our security camera. But how to make like a security webcam, security camera like feeling and effects? Now, this is a very important thing. What kind of effect are you going to use? There are like two things. Spooky cameras, or like not spooky cameras, but more like security cameras use. Those are or with nighttime visions, so they can see through nighttime a little bit better. Maybe you can also have like heat sensor, but that's a little bit like, yeah. I don't even know how to do that, if that's possible, by the way. Or you make like just like gray, um, white gray camera. But this is more of a situation where your camera is in. Like if you have like a spooky area inside, like indoors, don't use just like a night vision, because it it doesn't always work unless there isn't but unless you're using a dark room, right? So if you want to have like a dark room with only like a few lights in there, you can use night vision in the camera that you want. If you're having a lit up room, just use gray in the camera, just like in gray color scheme. I will show you what I mean. Um, so first, what we're going to do, we're going to make some kind of night vision mode. So I'm going into gadgets again, and in the same tab, in the same gadget tabs, you will see grades and effects. And we grab it, stamp it in the world, use it on a microchip, put it somewhere clean, or where you can find it easily back. You can also rename it, saying, in my case, this is going to be security camera. So I know that these settings are specifically for the camera modes. For instance, like if you like don't name this, and you also have like a general one, like for your scenery itself, like for your global, um, like your global settings, um, like this one is activated like always, maybe in the overall of the settings. Maybe you have like here like a little bit of contrast and a little bit of brightness, color saturation. Maybe we can pick some color here and there as well. So just to never touch the other the bottom one, by the way. So this is basically our like overall settings. But if you want to like use different grade effects only for the cameras, or only when we're going inside the camera, we want to only switch to that settings. So that's why you need to think of like or to rename certain stuff like your grades effects. So you can always find things back later on if you want to have like the things are activating at certain points. So you can like deactivating the other global settings, for instance. But you don't have to do that. You don't basically have to disable the global settings. You can still use it, but um, I think like renaming stuff is a little bit easier for yourself as well. You can is also like rename cam one. Let's say like this is forest, forest cam, cam one. So if you have like a really large like scene where there are multiple cameras like working around, like name them at least that you know like which one is which or where it is. In the beginning, you were like, yeah, I know where it is. But if you have a really large project with a lot of microchips, it you will like have troubles to find something back, unless you're really good at memorizing stuff. But still, if you're, for example, going to collaborate with someone else and you're asking a person that you are collaborating with to do certain stuff in your world, and saying like, "Hey, can you make the camera in the forest a little bit brighter?" And the person goes in like, "Yeah, which camera? There are like 50 cameras in the forest. Which camera forest do you? Which camera do you mean?" So, but if the person says like, "Hey, it's camera forest 23 needs to be fixed," then the person right away knows which one he needs to fix. So keep that in mind if you're doing collaboration. Okay, so how to make the cam? At first, I first want to make the effect, and then we're going to do the animation. So with this effect, we're going to use the security camera effect. So I'm going to open this one, and I will zoom in a little bit for you guys so you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. So I would say like if we're like switching to night vision mode, you can like say we're putting a little bit of like brightness in it, so the area is a little bit like lit up, as we are inside the camera. But we can't really test it out yet unless we have the right color scheme. So I'm not going to touch this one till later on. So the first thing we need to do is color tinting. And here is like a little bit of a tip of you guys. If you're going to use these gadgets, the grade settings and stuff like that, these two things here, the third one maybe as well for some people, but basically the top and the middle one. So the shadows and the midtones. Highlights are very scary or like very scary to manipulate, but yeah, to change because it will look a little bit weird unless you make something very extraordinary, or maybe it fits inside your imagination creation. Then you can use also like changing the highlight settings. Um, but these two things basically tells you the color scheme of your world. What kind of color scheme is your game going to be? Now, in my case, these two things will be for my security camera. So what I need to do for a night vision mode, we're going for a little bit of a green tint, and I will go for a little bit as like kind of bright because like it's the color tint in the night vision mode is kind of bright, but also it has a little bit like shades in it, like it's detecting shades as well. So we're going for the midtones in this one, and we're also going to pick green. Basically, you don't really like want to do this unless like um, you want to make it like it's close to a security camera. Now, as you can see, if I like using the midtones, you can see in the snow part, like here the snow is still white, which is impossible for a night vision mode because it doesn't recognize um, uh, um, lightning. It doesn't really like it doesn't recognize colors in night vision mode. So make sure to do the midtones as well. And we put it on a little bit darker green. Maybe we can put this also a little bit darker, by the way. There we go. Okay, so now the whole scene is green. Um, Next thing we need to do is if we're going back in the security camera and like zoom in this one again. Now we can a little bit play around with the settings. Um, I would say around 60 in my case. This really depends on your creation. Like it really depends on yeah, what kind of space and area you are in. So this really depends on your situation. Contrast, we can do a little bit of contrast, not too much, by the way. As you can see, if I put too much contrast in this scene, you'll see that the color is coming back again. So don't touch it that much. Also, don't go this way. But you can do it a little bit. You can say maybe like 5%, or in this case, or maybe 10 can be. I will say 5. Let's go for 5. Color saturation, we put that on 0. So we don't really have um, um, like it should not be have like color in general, right? I need to check now. Still have. Oh well. Oh, 60 and 5%. There we go. Okay, so we're going for the next tab, and that is screen effects. Sorry. And here we have a few stuff. First of all, bloom needs to go out. Web security cam never detecting anything special with the lightning, so we try to make it as clean as possible, as like it's realistic as possible. So we are like turning off the bloom effect. The vignette extract, we can actually do it a little bit more. So the focus is more on the middle part of the camera. This is a little bit of a technique you can use if you're like want to have more of a spooky scenery. So when your vignette is more like focusing in the center of the camera, so the player automatically is going to focus in the center without moving their eyes too much to the wrong side. So if you want to make like a jump scare or want to point a player to a certain direction, vignette is the solution. Be careful with using this as well, because like it doesn't always looks that great, and yeah, it depends. But for a security webcam, we can use this. So I'm going to for 55%. Lens flare. No, we don't need any lens flare. It's an old security camera. Um, we don't need lens flares. Um, no, we're not going to touch this one. Camera movement blurs. Okay, this is a funny one. This is like, can we? Are we going to use some kind of fish eye effect? Now, this is maybe something that I hope that Media Molecule will like add up in the future updates. Um, like, it is really funny that if I'm like pushing this to the left side to minus 100%, you get like a really like an um, like a bird eye basically. This is like a bird eye. But if I want to have like a fish cam, I need to go for the other way around. I need to go for this. And as you can see, maybe, yeah, there we go. As you can see that the screen, for the overall screen, is also going to crop. And this is basically what I don't like that Dreams is doing this, or at least give me an option where I can like going full screen again, so the whole screen have this effect on. But yeah, that is maybe sometimes a minimal queue will update eventually someday in the near distance future. But that's something that I really want to see. So we can't really like doing this effect much unless we want to go for a bird eye vision a little bit. Um, so it goes a little bit like how like a security camera is basically. You can set like minus 27. Um, yeah, but be careful if you don't want to make people sick because this can be causing sickness for some people when screen is not like flat but like hobbly or blurry or motion sickness is a thing with some people. Even me, I can get motion sickness sometimes, so be careful with using these settings. Like if you want to use like settings like fish m and bird cam, sorry, fish eye and bird eye. If you want to use this particular this, make sure it's like only for certain features so the people that are playing this game or playing your scene doesn't get motion sickness. But I'm going to put it on minus 21%. Okay, let's go for minus 20. So that is that. Um, I don't think that was okay. I think that was that for that tab. The next tab is pixelation effects, and pixelation effects is where the fun begins because like here you can basically say like I want to make my game look like it's an 8-bit game, even though 8-bit is not like this. I think it's, let me see. I think I think like this. I don't know. Like I'm not really specialized in pixelation of 8 bits and stuff, so I don't really know how big the squares were back then. But you can just like make it look like it's a very old school looking game. That's where you find these settings as well. We're not going to use this, not for a webcam. Then we have scan lines. We are going to use scan lines. Scan lines are basically just like lines on your screen, and this effect is mostly what you're seeing in cameras, in security cameras, and this is also a fact you see if it's something recorded um, from a screen, from a monitor. Um, Mostly old ones. I'm talking about old ones We're going to use like scan lines, but not too much. I think I'm going for like 40-50% of the scan line. So they're not obviously there, but they still have that effect. So it gives you a little bit of that feeling that you are like watching through a webcam's security camera. So that's been said. Then we have like posterior. Um, I don't think in this video I'm going to use this one. You can use it a little bit if you don't want to if you want to make like a very old camera and that doesn't like pick all the shades, so you can use it. I'm not going to use this in here. This is like really fun, like the chromatic aberration. I'm just going to do 5%. What does it really do? It makes things around. I'm not sure if I can show it somewhere in the scene. I think I'm bringing my camera now with me. I'm trying to find something where you can see it a little bit better. But basically, it's like if you're like near the edge of your object, you can see there's like a little bit um like a color mix going on. Like it's a little bit blurry around the edges. Um, I would say if you want to use this, I would don't go too much on this. Just like 10% is just fine. Can be causing motion sickness though. Okay, and now the part where it all should start, and that is the glitch one. The glitch one is basically showing that it's a really old videotape or a camera, like a real life camera. So if I press play, you can see what I mean. So you can see that this is like playing around, and here you can like say like, okay, I really want to have like some effects going on, and just play a bit around with it till you're liking. So till you see like, okay, this is something that I like, and there we have it. So now you can see that the screen is just like not 100% um like um like sharp or anything. So if you're going into play mode, we're going inside the camera, even though my imp is still here. So we are now in our cam mode. Is this perfect? Nope. Okay, what do we need to do to make it more like a security camera? I think that first of all, whoops. Oh, I'm going to delete this one for a little bit, and just going to use this one. And oh, I see. I think I'm going to use this one here. Okay, so now we are like inside the camera, and that's already a little bit better, but not so great. Like now it's like it's very green, and what we are looking for is more into gray area still. So I would say go into your gadget and just oh sorry, just go a little bit like to the lighter side of this shadow. And I think this is already a little bit better according to a night vision. This is something that you have to play around with your settings, still your thing like, hey, okay, this is something that I want. All right, we have now a half hour of talking. So now I'm going to do a movement, like if it's actually like in camera going like from left to right. So we're going into edit mode again. And then we're going to animate. If you don't want to have this annoying looking camera vision, just like turn this off at the moment, so you have like a normal vision again to work with. Okay, now go into your menu again, and go into animate. Then we select the timeline. And we're going to make the timeline, we stamp it here. Okay, so we now have the timeline. So basically this is the timeline for the security where go to security camera. There we go. And make sure it's a safe location. So what we need to do is select the camera that you want and slide it over your timeline. So now we have the camera in our timeline, and now we can do funny things with it. First of all, we need to like stretch the camera till its end. Let's say that the camera. Let me put it till 30 seconds. Around 30 seconds. There we go. Because okay, you can put it somewhere like in the bottom or anything. So this is not really the most important thing. The most important thing is the keyframe. So pick a keyframe in the same menu. Keyframe. Sorry, I was too fast on that one, so I'll show you it again. Place it in the beginning of your timeline, and all you need to do is just tap, just tap one time, very quickly. Just tap it one time. That means that it secured this location on the keyframe, and press the record keyframe again, so it stopped recording. We need this position, first position in the keyframe. Now we can do everything what we want. So I'm going to copy this keyframe, the same keyframe. We're going to copy, and let's say it takes 3 seconds for the camera to go to the middle part, right? So we're going to select this keyframe, so the second keyframe, and this time we're going to scope or possess the camera. So we're possessing the camera, and we turn it, let's say we turn it to right, and do that with your right stick. So don't move the left stick. There we go. Then stop recording. And don't forget to hold L1 and circle. I forget it sometimes myself. Otherwise you're bringing the camera with you. And now we have like 2 different keyframes. All we need to do is make sure that the program, the timeline, knows that he needs to do something in between those 2 keyframes. So what we need to do is make that happen. So you see if I'm going with my in between the 2 keyframes, you see it lit up. If I press L1 and X, you will see a line is popping up. If I do it again, you will see like another line coming up, and so on and so on. But we're only going to do for this tutorial, we're going for this one. The others are not matter at this case. Now that we set the camera over there, we're going to copy this one again to the next 3 seconds. And we're going to scope into this keyframe. And we're doing the same thing that we did before. So we're going to like put the camera more to the right. There we go. Stop recording. Go outside the camera. Click in the middle part. And there we have it. But now, if we're like going into the play mode, you will see that the camera is moving. But he is going into one direction. He's not like doing anything. Like he's not stopping. So to make this work, to make sure that he's actually stopping in between sections, we need to copy the same keyframe. The second keyframe, we need to copy that one. And copy this one. And you can see that already the line is there. So we don't have to do anything about that anymore. And then just like select these 2 and place it on 3 seconds. So he's moving 3 seconds. Then he paused for 3 seconds. And then he is going to move for 3 seconds again. And you can do that every time. But now we want to go back, right? So we made those, like, if you're going to play modes. Sorry, I need to restart. So it stops for 3 seconds, and then it moves to the other part. Now I've been noticing that the first part is a little bit too fast. As you can see, like this, oh, like that is like a travel that is way too fast. So what we're going to do is going into the second keyframe. I'm just going to oh, I'm just going to push it a little bit back, like there or so. But now we have to delete this one as well, otherwise it doesn't work. Let's go to 3 seconds again, and let's see how that works. Okay, that's a lot closer than we had before. A lot slower than we had before. This looks alright, I guess. But we're not finished because like now it's just like having it from left to right. But we basically want to have the camera going from left to right in a loop all the time. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this keyframe here to this side, and we're going for the next 3 seconds. Make sure there's a line in between. Then copy the same keyframe again for another 3 seconds, because this is like the pause one. There we go. And now we need. I hope I'm doing it right. Yeah, we do. So now we need to have this one and copy that for another 3 seconds. There we go. And that's basically it. And then we can close this curtain. Maybe we do want to have like the same keyframe here for another 3 seconds, so he doesn't like go straight forward. Oh wait, before we like testing this out, make sure the timeline is set on loop instead of like sustain. So put it on loop, and let's go back in play mode. And then you have the webcam going from left to right and from right to left in a certain amount of speed. So that's how to do a webcam. The only thing is that, sorry, that's how you do a security cam. The only thing we need to do is, oh, what? Oh my god. Wait, we made a mistake, apparently. So this is the second one. The third one. Okay, but the third one, it goes straight back again, so that's where I made a mistake. That's funny. I thought I was copying this one. So it should stay now. And then goes back in the middle. Then he goes back to the left one. To the no, he doesn't. He doesn't. Okay, now we need to see. Now we need to see what I did here. I need to make sure that I'll have to stop the scene before it's resetting, so I can see what went wrong. I think I like copied the wrong spot. This is why you need to name your stuff. Okay, I think it's here. Yeah, so like this keyframe, and then he's like going. Okay, so this one is not correct. But this one is right. This is something that you need to check before. So he's coming back. One. Whoa. Okay. 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 So the last one. Okay. I know. I know. I know. So the so the last one is where he's going to swift to this one. Should be 3 seconds. Then 3 seconds in between. We were too short. We were too short. And then he needs to go to the last location again. I hope. Let's find out. I hope it works. Okay, he goes back. Okay. hmm The reason why he was starting right away is because we didn't give him another pause moment. So we're going to add up 3 seconds more. Put the keyframe again, the same one, the last same one. Put it again. So he has a certain pause. You can also do it like this. You don't have to do it. You can also do it like this, basically. And oh, but the reason why I don't do it like this is because like the timeline is not it's not snapping anymore. So I don't know if I always do it like between two keyframes, um, to make it more snappy. So like then I know okay I have to go like around here. Then I know that I am exactly at that point. But you can do it like this as well to make it a little bit more easier for yourself. And with that I mean like if you're going from one spot to another, I can say make this one uh wait, why is that not working now? Okay, I guess it's not working like that anymore. That's weird. Oh, okay. For some reason, like it says like nope. I guess it's because like I was zoomed out a little bit too much. Uh, I mean like you can do it like this to tell a little bit yourself a little bit easier that these are the pauses between the camera modes. So maybe it's for the better to do it like this. I'm going to do it just for tutorial wise, so it all makes sense for you. At least don't forget the lines in between the stuff. So he goes, he pauses, he goes, he pauses, he goes, he pauses, he goes, pause. Wait, am I doing it? Am I doing that correct? This is the pause, right? Yeah, this is the pause. So pause, then he goes, then he pauses, then he goes, then he pause. I don't know why it's like it's okay. Let me see how we are doing this. And then he goes, and then he pauses. This is so weird, by the way. And he pauses, and then he goes again. But that's not. Oh wait, then wait. Huh? Okay, let me see. Let me see what's happening now. He's coming back. That's the pause. One more. Oh wait, I think maybe I know what's happening. He goes, he stops, then he goes, then he stops. We're going into play mode, then we are here. But now he's not doing anything anymore. So like he's not also going. So this whole keyframe is not correct. So now we need to have um, this one, but as a single keyframe again. And 3 seconds. Wait, this is not correct. Sorry. There we go. Should be like this. Or am I now copying the wrong one again? Oh my god. I think I'm copying the wrong one again. We need this one. Because he needs to go back. I had a feeling I was copying the wrong one. I'm so sorry. This video is going to be very long. Oop. I think we're already like an hour in. Okay, this should work. This should work. Okay, he went back, so that's a good sign. There we go, we fixed it. But we don't have the effect, so let's make that finishing as well. We're going to the security cam, we're bringing this back. There we have it. That's how you make a security cam going from left to right with night vision. Um, and if you want to have like sound going on, right? There is a really good one on the Dreamverse. If you search, I think I have it still in my recent one. Here, if you're going for Domino 666, I will put a link in the description as well if you want to use this. He has made two different sounds. This is like the end, and this is like a continuous looping aperture. Now this is basically more like zooming in, zooming out, but you can use this sound for for anything. So we're going to use this sound basically when he's going off. So like we are going to just cut this down, and then we need the other one, the end one, and that one we paste it next close to each other, so you don't hear much different in the sound. There we go. And oh, sorry, this is not correct by the way, because like here it already stops. So we need to make sure that the sound, the click sound, and here it looks like you can see here a spike in the sound going on. That means like click, click. So that means that is like it's the end of the sound. So in here we need to make sure that this is like continue. There is a little bit like difference here in the sound. You can solve this with doing stuff like this. So if you want to make like it's actually really clean, maybe do like this as well. And if you're using these little orb thingies, that means that it's like um, it's soft. The sound comes slowly in and softly fading out. You can use it like this if you are very precisely with the sound and stuff like that. But I already tested like this before, and you don't really hear it much difference. And now we need to like copy this one to the others as well. So as you can see, that the sound every time where like he's pausing, or some sorry, every time where he's like traveling with the camera, like you can use this sound in between to make it more realistic. And we're doing that with all the in between. I think that's the last one. And we press play mode. And there we have it. Our security camera with sound, with special effects. Um, so yeah, that's how I did it. And if you like want to put like more like HUD layouts, like recording, um, it's basically just like using text gadgets. I can make one for you guys to show you how that looks. So if we're going for the gadgets again, close this one and open movers and outputs. It's really weird that it's in here, but they did it in here. And then you have like text displayer, and we putting it basically over the whole timeline. So I'm going to put it all the way over the timeline and open the timeline. Open the text gadgets, and here we say rec. There we go. And well, you can change the font, of course. So we're going to search for a good old looking like font that's been using for camera stuff. It's mostly always is like white. The font itself is white, but the backgrounds like this one is like black, but then it's not. Let me see. It's not like full blackness. It's always like having a transparency opacity. I think 10% less. And the rest is all fine here. All we need to do is deleting what is called the border and the shadow, because the camera doesn't have showing any shadows in the text. And then we can basically say like, hey, I want to have this in my top, and there you have it. And there you have like the rec stuff going on. And you can like experimenting with different stuff. If you want to have like other text going on, like this is camera 1 or this is camera 2. Now a security camera, like if you have it inside game perspective and not as someone that is looking at a monitor, so instead of having the word rec, it would be most like saying like, hey, this is camera 1, for example, and then we all need to put it underneath, then make this sure that this fits a little bit better. So this would be more like commonly saying, but yeah, experiment with this stuff. If you don't want to use like night vision, if you want to use it for in a house, inside a house, don't use the night vision looking, but go for a gray tint. And if you want to like, then you can like pretend like, okay, is this a very old camera that doesn't like showing any colors, or is this a camera that is like showing a little bit of colors? Then just like play around with the saturation in the settings. Okay, this is like less than 1 hour. So I hope you find this very helpful with this tutorial how to make a security camera inside Dreams. I will come up with more tutorials in the future So stay tuned for that. And thank you so much for watching. If you have questions, always ask in the comments, and I will always make links below the description of the stuff that I'm using. Okay, bye bye.